She stepped into the honeymoon suite with her long lavender robe trailing behind, and Tenny twitching at the floral air freshener. Zilara of Vorthax 9, decorated war bride and first diplomat of her house, froze mid-step. Her piercing gold eyes locked on the object before her, the Earth-human bed. Not just a bed. A colossal, fabric-draped colossus. Jake dropped their luggage, humming a happy tune, oblivious to the alien beside him who had just stiffened like she'd spotted a territorial gorgonhound. "Jake," she said slowly, voice tense. "What is that?" He followed her gaze. "The bed? It's so big." Her tone carried suspicion and awe. "How can I control this?" He laughed. "You don't control it, babe. You just sleep on it." "Sleep?" Zilara squinted. "You dare bring me to a mating arena and then pretend it's for sleeping?" Jake blinked. "It's a California king. You said you liked luxury? I thought you meant feasting pillows and scented oils, not arena-scale intimacy equipment." She circled the bed cautiously, poking the plush duvet with a clawed fingertip. It bounced. She yelped. Jake collapsed onto the mattress, arms behind his head. "See? Soft. Comfy. Cozy." Zilara stepped back as though it had roared. "Is it alive?" "No. It's foam." She crouched and inspected the headboard. "Why are there grip handles?" "Those are just decorative." "Lies. This is clearly for securing dominant partners during thrust control trials." "What's a thrust control trial?" "Exactly what it sounds like." Jake rolled over and laughed. "No, baby, that's not how we do things here. We just lie down and enjoy." She scowled at the silk bedsheets. "So this is where you humans breed with reckless abandon? No barriers. No ritual markings. Just relaxation?" He sat up, amused. "I mean, yeah, kinda. Barbaric," she muttered. She stomped over to the welcome tray and picked up a chocolate. Sniffed. Bit. Her eyes widened. "Aphrodisiac?" Jake shook his head. "Just chocolate." She stared at it with suspicion. "Melted instantly on tongue. Definitely hormonal agent." "Nope. Sugar. You'll love it." She eyed the bottle of champagne, then him. "Do you humans intoxicate yourselves before performing reproductive acts?" Jake shrugged. "Sometimes. Helps people relax." "So it is a ritual." She pointed dramatically. "This is the courtship chamber. It's a honeymoon suite." "Which is?" He smiled. "Where newlyweds go to celebrate." "With endurance testing?" "No. With romance. And maybe a little." He wiggled his eyebrows. "Boom chicka wow wow." She frowned. "You sound like a broken warning siren." Jake chuckled. "You'll see." Zilara pulled open a drawer and found a pair of handcuffs. She yelped and dropped them. "So restraints are involved." "Wait, what?" "Those are just for decoration. This is a themed hotel. Love Shack fantasy package." "This room has a name?" He nodded proudly. "Yup. Booked it special. Neon jacuzzi, satin sheets, mirrored ceiling, pure earth romance." Zilara's eyes scanned the ceiling. "Are we to observe our form mid-thrust? Is this part of Earth ego mating?" Jake groaned. "Can't tell if you're horrified or turned on." "Neither. I'm preparing to dominate." Jake's grin widened. "Okay, wow, that escalated." Zilara threw off her robe. Beneath it, she wore ceremonial battle lingerie, metallic bands over sensitive zones, a silk sash looped in a pattern that apparently signified fertility on her homeworld. Jake's jaw dropped. "Damn. You brought the whole alien wedding night outfit." She stepped up on the bed like a soldier boarding a dropship. "Do not mock the ceremonial binding cloth." "I'm not. I'm very, very into it." "Then lie still." "The first position must be established." Jake rolled over. "You're the boss." Zilara looked down. "This mattress shifts under pressure. I cannot anchor." "How do humans manage stability?" Jake bit his lip, trying not to laugh. We just roll with it. I cannot roll during the prime penetration protocol. That would ruin angle integrity. Angle integrity? She scowled. You speak with ignorance. Your mating systems are clearly inferior. Tell that to the billion humans on this planet. She raised an eyebrow. Is that why your kind breeds so often? Because you rely on inefficient, sprawling love fields like this? He laughed harder. It's just a bed, Silara. Not a battlefield. Everything is a battlefield if the thrust is strong enough. He wiped a tear of laughter. That's going on a t-shirt. Silara stared him down. You will not survive the preliminary straddle. Wouldn't be the first time I've been straddled by someone in armor. You mock the sacred garment. He waved a hand. No! I honor it. Deeply. Respectfully. Nakedly. She tilted her head. That last word was confusing. Never mind. Come here. She stepped forward. The bed wobbled under her. She squeaked. It moved again. It's rebelling. It's literally foam. It conforms to your shape. She narrowed her eyes. So it is submissive. Interesting. Finally. You're getting it. She laid beside him stiffly, like she was about to be dissected. Relax, he whispered. She stared at him. I have trained with 6-armed berserkers. I do not relax. You've clearly never cuddled. She paused. Is that a submission hold? It's better. He wrapped an arm around her. She froze. Then slowly melted. The bed did not attack. Nope. Your embrace is warm. Yep. She looked at the ceiling. I still do not trust that mirror. Same. They lay together in silence. Her eyes stayed wide, staring at the ceiling. But her hand slipped into his. Jake? Yeah? I still plan to dominate later. He grinned. I'm counting on it. Jake barely had time to finish a strawberry when Zilara returned from the bathroom dressed in something that could only be described as ceremonial warfare mixed with lingerie and way too many straps. Her skin shimmered with alien pheromonal oils that seemed to glow under the mirror ceiling. In one hand she held the curling iron like a dagger, in the other, a bathrobe belt twisted like a whip. I am ready to initiate the ritual of first penetration supremacy, she declared. Jake dropped the strawberry. What now? Prepare your body for ritual engagement. Do you require assistance disrobing? Jake blinked. I mean, no complaints, but maybe let's talk for a sec. Zilara lunged forward and straddled him like she was mounting a war beast. Jake yelped as she pinned his arms to the bed. Do you consent to battle? Consent to cuddle first? I see. Earth foreplay includes evasive dialogue. She leaned down, her breath hot against his face, and whispered something in her native tongue. It sounded like an ancient curse or a recipe for emotional destruction. Jake tried to sit up, but the grip on his wrists tightened. She moved fast, almost too fast for him to react. Okay, he said. This is happening. Wow. Okay. Zilara pressed her forehead to his, her antennae twitching. You have surrendered. Shall I commence the rhythm phase? Jake swallowed. What even is that? She reached to the nightstand, knocked over the champagne, then grabbed the television remote and held it like it was a detonator. Wrong device, he muttered. She dropped it. Explain which button activates your arousal. Is it the neck? The chest? Jake gave a weak smile. There are many buttons. It's kind of a sliding scale system. She nodded solemnly. Like a command console. Exactly. Zilara's hands roamed his chest with a mix of military precision and confused sensuality. She paused over his nipple. Is this one of the core access points? Jake hissed. Depends how hard you press. She nodded again, and this time, her tongue flicked out, textbook Vorthax tactic for taste reading compatibility. Jake's eyes nearly rolled back. Whoa. That's advanced. Zilara tilted her head. Did I trigger a seizure? Nope. Just human approval. She looked smug. Then I am winning. Sure, let's call it that. Without warning, she grabbed a melted chocolate from the tray, smeared it across his shoulder, and licked it off with terrifying intensity. Jake gasped. You taste-tested me? She grinned. You are sweet. Slightly tangy. Musky underlayer. Acceptable. Glad to hear it. She leaned back and fumbled with a feathered pillow. Is this a mating mask? No, just for comfort. Zilara sighed. So much of your intimacy is soft. Do humans not use bite locks or temperature whips? We're more into dim lighting and compliments. Fascinating. She knelt between his legs like a battle priestess preparing for a divine ritual. Commencing interspecies pelvic synchronization. Jake flinched. You make it sound like an engineering project. She frowned. Is it not? He sat up a little. Sex is connection. Fun. Heat. Chemistry. Not spreadsheets. Zilara narrowed her eyes. But you catalog preferences. You have types. These are categories. He smirked. Yeah, but categories aren't sexy unless you're into librarians. I do not understand that reference. Jake shrugged. Doesn't matter. Just less thinking, more feeling. Zilara hesitated, then placed her hand on his cheek. Your skin is not as fragile as I feared. And your grip's stronger than I'd hoped. We're a good pair. She leaned in, kissed him, this time not like a ritual, but like curiosity, like exploration. It was warm, awkward, thrilling. Her lips parted slightly. Her scent filled the air, part electric spice, part wild flower. Jake responded in kind, his hands sliding up her back, fingertips brushing the intricate lines of her ceremonial straps. She arched into his touch, surprised. Oh, she breathed. That registered differently. Better? Unexpected. She kissed him again. Longer. Slower. This time, no curling iron in sight. Just as things were heating up, a thump sounded from the wall. Then another. Everything okay in there? A voice called from outside. Jake blinked. Oh no. Zilara looked up, alarmed. Is that an interruption ritual? Jake laughed. No, it's the hotel staff. Another voice followed. Sir, is there a struggle? We detected elevated decibel levels. Zilara's eyes widened. Are we under surveillance? Jake sighed. The smart room monitors noise. Just tell them we're fine. She leaped off the bed, grabbed the bathrobe belt, and yelled. Earth authorities, you may not interrupt our bonding duel. A long pause. Then, very well. Carry on, I guess. Jake covered his face. We're getting billed for this, aren't we? Zilara turned to him with a gleam in her eye. They will bill you. You are the submissive. Excuse me? She climbed back on top, triumphant. Do not interrupt. I have barely begun the rotational engagement phase. Jake let out a breathless laugh. God, I love you. I know, she whispered. Now prepare your pelvis. I am experimenting with momentum. He stared at the ceiling. This is the best-worst honeymoon ever. Silence. I'm calculating entry vectors. Jake muttered. At least someone's doing math. A pillow hit him in the face. He didn't mind. The next morning, the hotel room looked like a scene from a romantic disaster documentary. Sheets twisted like a cyclone had passed through, one pillow wedged into a chandelier, and the minibar left in ruins. Jake groaned as he rubbed his temples, still half buried under a mattress corner. Zilara stood at the foot of the bed wearing nothing but confidence, and a towel wrapped like a victory flag. Your mattress lacks discipline, she declared. It absorbed all my energy. I demand it be punished. Jake tried sitting up. It's not a combatant. It's foam. It yielded without resistance. She snapped. I nearly drowned in softness. My thigh is still vibrating. That's probably the bed's massage function. I turned it on halfway through your pelvic cannonball maneuver. She sniffed. Poor battlefield design. You humans surrender to comfort far too quickly. Before Jake could respond, a chime echoed from the door. Zilara grabbed her robe and took defensive posture with a hairdryer. Jake dragged himself off the bed and peeked through the peephole. Room service stood outside with a fresh tray. Behind them, the hotel manager hovered nervously. Jake opened the door. "Hey, everything okay?" The manager smiled too widely. "We received several audio alerts. Guests on either side complained about shrieking, thumping, and something about territorial moaning." Zilara stepped forward, regal and naked under the robe. "We were engaged in mating combat. Earth custom, yes?" The manager blinked. "We encourage discretion." She frowned. "Discretion weakens the emotional climax." The bellboy trembled, holding the tray like a shield. "Yes, sir, your fruit plate. And a complimentary couple's lotion kit." Zilara snatched the lotion and examined the label. "Contains jojoba?" Jake nodded. "It's good for the skin." She sniffed it, then rubbed it on her shoulder. Her eyes widened. "Tingling. Is this another aphrodisiac?" "No, just minty. I feel aroused." Jake turned to the manager. "We'll keep it down." The door shut. Zilara turned to Jake with narrowed eyes. "Your species uses stealth arousal agents. Clever. Jojoba is not a weapon." "It is now." Jake returned to the bed, sighing. "You turned this suite into a war zone." She knelt beside him, looking smug. "Then why do you look like the satisfied loser of a sacred duel?" "Because I am." The room's AI system chirped. "Would you like to activate romantic mood mode?" Zilara tilted her head. "What is that?" Jake said nothing. The AI dimmed the lights, activated a slow saxophone melody, and projected a holographic rose shower across the ceiling. Zilara gasped. "Ceiling flora spores! Defensive maneuver! No! No maneuver! It's ambience!" She crouched, ready to strike the projection with a pillow. "It's too real." Jake stood, arms raised. "Please don't punch the ceiling again." The AI spoke again. "Based on audio analysis, your previous engagement reached climax intensity level 9. Would you like recommendations for future positions?" Zilara beamed. "Yes." "No," Jake said. The AI continued. "Top suggestion, the Galactic pretzel. Warning, not recommended for humans with spinal anxiety." Zilara looked impressed. "Your people have strange techniques. We have chiropractors for a reason." She stood tall. "I accept this challenge. Let us attempt the pretzel." Jake groaned. "My back just screamed." Zilara moved to the minibar and grabbed a banana. She peeled it slowly, then whispered, This looks like your lower appendage." He choked. "That's breakfast." She bit it while staring at him. "Now it's training." Jake pointed at the remaining fruit. "Please don't fight the grapes. I never fight something that small." He laughed, leaned back. "That's accidentally brutal." "Intended." The room chimed again. A message flashed across the smart mirror. "This room has been flagged for excessive noise." Zilara read it aloud. "Punishment?" Jake rubbed his face. "They'll probably fine us." "For expressing love through structured combat?" "Yeah. Earth's weird like that." Zilara grabbed the lotion again. "Then let us create a new ritual. Quieter. But equally intense." Jake narrowed his eyes. "You're not done?" "Done?" she said, almost offended. "This was merely Phase 1. Phase 1 broke a chair. Then we are halfway to victory." He collapsed back on the bed. "You're going to kill me with affection." She smiled darkly. "Affection is the slowest form of conquest, but the most rewarding." Jake closed his eyes. "I surrender again." The mirror chimed. "Consent confirmed." "Wait, how did it get in this conversation?" Zilara smirked. "It listens better than you." Jake sighed, reached for her hand. "So what now, Commander?" She licked lotion from her finger. "Now we attack again. But with subtlety. I'm scared." "You should be." They both laughed. The bed squeaked ominously. It was going to be another long morning. Jake lay sprawled across the wreckage of the bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. He didn't know whether he was exhausted, enlightened, or just permanently concussed by love. Beside him, Zilara sat cross-legged, applying more of the mint lotion with the discipline of a war medic. Her expression was peaceful, disturbingly so, considering she'd nearly suplexed him off the mattress an hour ago. "That position," she said thoughtfully, "where you lifted me while balancing on the corner of the mattress and rotating your hips in a crescent arc. What was it called?" Jake coughed. "I think it was called a cry for help." "No," she said, tapping her chin. "It was bold. Synchronized. Almost noble. You Earth males have admirable pelvic dexterity." "Thanks. My chiropractor will be thrilled." Zilara turned to him with a gleam in her eye. "You joke, but I sense pride in your suffering." Jake chuckled weakly. "We call it afterglow. And muscle cramps. Then I glow with you." She smiled, slow and genuine. "This Earth ritual is addictive." He looked over, dazed but happy. "Welcome to the honeymoon phase." Zilara picked up a hotel menu and began scanning it with the same scrutiny she applied to weapon schematics. "Do we eat after battle?" "Always. Recovery food. Plus, pancakes are sacred." She flipped to the breakfast section. "Syrup appears sticky. Is it for restraining?" "No, that's just a bonus." She nodded sagely. "Earth cuisine is delightfully inappropriate." Jake stretched, wincing. "Everything's inappropriate if you use it wrong." Zilara tossed the menu aside and crawled over. "One last question. Why do your people build such large beds for such erratic engagements?" He blinked. "What do you mean?" "This bed has no gravitational anchors. My left leg fell off the edge mid-thrust, and you rolled into the headboard like a stunned krillfish. Because space equals freedom, and bruises build memories." She pondered that. "Poetic. Slightly dumb. I like it." Jake ran a hand through his hair. "You were right, though. The bed is a beast. But one we conquered." He grinned. "Barely. If that thing had sentient AI, we'd be in court." Zilara leaned closer. "You know what surprised me most? Besides the vibrating pillow?" "No." "You." She touched his chest gently now. "Your softness was strategic. You yielded without resistance, yet overwhelmed me." Jake raised an eyebrow. "You're saying I won?" "I'm saying we both surrendered in ways that mattered." Her voice dropped. "You showed me what your kind calls intimacy. It is far more terrifying than domination." He looked at her with mock horror. "Terrifying?" "Yes. You let me see you unguarded. I could have broken you. Still might," he murmured. She laughed, deep and honest. "I might at that." Jake shifted and kissed her. This time, no chaos. No mattress sabotage. Just lips. Connection. A little tongue. She melted into it like she was no longer a warrior but something softer, warmer. After the kiss, she rested her forehead against his. "Jake? Yeah? I still intend to dominate you. Just slower now." He smirked. "Good. I'm all out of emergency inhalers." She laughed again. "You Earth men so fragile. So brave." The smart mirror blinked to life. "Mood detection intimate. Suggestion, play Love's Embrace in zero-gravity playlist?" Jake groaned. "Please don't." Zilara narrowed her eyes. "Is this playlist also a tool of seduction? More like a sonic contraceptive." "Understood. Abort." The AI went silent. Zilara touched the bedsheet and whispered, "This thing, this massive sleep beast, still frightens me." Jake pulled her down beside him. "Don't worry. It only bites if provoked." "I bit it," she admitted. "I know." They lay there in peaceful silence, tangled in exhausted limbs, soaked in lotion, and smelling faintly of strawberries and conquest. After a while, Zilara murmured, "Your mating customs have corrupted me." Jake smirked. You say that like it's a bad thing. It is. I crave pancakes now. He chuckled. We'll get you a stack big enough to call an enemy. She grinned, then added, and next time, I want to try this spooning maneuver. You said it requires 0 thrust? None. Maximum cuddle. Fully sanctioned. She purred low in her throat. Then teach me. Slowly. Jake held her close. Yes, Commander. Zilara closed her eyes, and in the last seconds before sleep, she whispered, I still think your bed is too big. Jake kissed her hair. Yeah, but it fits both of us. Barely. And with that, Earth's most chaotic interspecies honeymoon finally reached an armistice, sealed with blankets, bruises, and a hotel bill they'd never live down.